Myth number 1, military police changes resistance. As you can currently see in the state of Posen, we have 5.8% resistance strength, we have a 10% resistance target, and we have a 0.2% resistance growth. Our military police template does not have any military police in it, it's just cavalry. If we now go ahead and add military police, we gain 20 more suppression, and then we can go ahead a few days and look what happens. And as you can see, the growth rate stays the same. It's still 0.2% growth, and the resistance target is still 10%. So having military police in the unit has absolutely no impact on the resistance in the state whatsoever. Myth number 2, general level ups are completely random. Okay, as you can see, we are in the 29th of Jan, 1936. We have this general, he has 5-3-4-3. Okay, those are important facts to remember. Now we will gain XP on him. No, wait, we gotta click into him. Okay, we will gain XP, 1501. This will put him at the next level. And we will be at 5454. Okay, if we do this again, from the same save. If we do this now and give him XP once more, gain XP, 1501, he will always get the exact same level ups. If we do it on the same save and we wait a day, 1 second. Here, if we wait a day now, and now do it, he gets 5445, okay? So what this basically means is the general level ups are not random, they're deterministic for every day. So if you really want to min-max in single player, you can just, you can just take a save and try around with your level ups so that you get as many attack level ups as possible. And with that, myth number 2 is debunked. Okay, myth number 3 is that it is more efficient to split your convoy lines up into lines of 3 as to just having all convoys in one big line, like here. The reason I do this in this mod, or do the test in this mod, is because we have 2 equal quantities in here, otherwise everything else is vanilla in here. And the reason why some people think this is how it works is because, as you can see, I'm finishing 1 convoy a day here. But it's not like with infantry equipment, right? Like if we have built too much infantry equipment, we build 0.8 infantry equipment a day here, right? But we have no such thing as a convoy for convoys. Like it just says we are building 1 convoy a day. So the idea is that if I build like this, I waste extra naval IC. And if I just queue it up with like a few, then I do not waste this much naval IC, or at least I waste like significantly less naval IC. Okay, to test if that is true, we will go ahead a bit and see if that works. See you in a second. Okay, now we have reached 200 convoys on the Axis, or 201. Let's see how it is on the Allies. We have also 200 convoys. That is simply because some of these are not yet finished. So we can conclude that the myth is false, and that if you produce convoys or overproduce convoys, the convoys will just be lined up for the next line. So you don't actually lose production. Yeah, and with that, this myth is also false. Okay, myth number 4 is that you can spawn in factories out of thin air in occupied territories. So right now we have Poland annexed as Germany with 100 compliance. Okay, as you can see, the factories we are getting from this are 99% of the Polish factories. So that is 18 civs and 11 mils. Okay, now, and as you can see, of these 29 factories, we are gaining 99.8%, so 28.9. Okay, and our total factories are right now 123. So if we now go and put this law on harsh quotas, we get 123% of their factories. Okay, so we get 36.1 factories, and our total factory count actually goes up. So this myth is true. You can spawn in factories out of thin air by occupying territory instead of coring it. Okay, myth number 5 is that cavalry gets infantry bonuses. I don't know, I've heard this myth a lot, so let's test out if it's true. We'll just go ahead and click them in the Netherlands, and as you can see, our cavalry right now is getting no soft attack modifiers, no hard attack modifiers, no breakthrough modifiers. If we were to go ahead and choose the attack guy here, we would be getting 10% in a 10% attack modifier, okay? And now to compare, if we choose an inf guy, which should also theoretically give us 10% attack modifier, we do not get any attack modifiers. If we also go into division template and look into the composition, it says 100% cavalry. So the myth is false, but for those of you that are interested, where this myth comes from is that if you grind with cavalry, or if you go and attack with cavalry, this also counts as infantry. Here, so cavalry counts as infantry in terms of grinding, but it does not count as infantry in terms of bonuses that you actually receive. Okay, myth number 6. This one is the first one that I did not even know about in testing. So what I thought, or what the initial assumption is, that what decides what unit enters combat first is the unit with the highest breakthrough or defense. So if we go ahead and click, like I have 2 units here, this one has more breakthrough but is worse in almost all other stats, while this one is better in most other stats but worse in breakthrough. So if we click, the unit with highest breakthrough reinforces first. So initially we would think that the assumption is right, but what I actually figured out in testing this is that if we railway this really quickly, like this, the units do not join the combat. But it is still, but the breakthrough still matters. Like if this unit had a lot more breakthrough right now, it would still enter the combat. I want to spare you guys the testing. But what appears to be true is, so first of all, the initial myth is wrong, but what appears to be instead true is that whatever unit has the highest orc times breakthrough on the offense, or orc times defense on the defense, is the unit that enters the battle first. This can be quite useful if you want to do mech in Africa, right, like Halt here, to know that, because having high orc units there means that you just get memed off because they don't enter the battle. But yeah, first myth that was really a surprise to me. Okay, myth number 7 is that trade increases consumer goods. This is one you will hear all the time in multiplayer games if you played it, from people that cope that they don't want to do trade backs, okay? Actually, before we start trade, our current consumer goods are 13 on the UK, and on France, our consumer goods are 14. Okay, so now I will trade 5 to the UK, 5 oil here, and then with the UK, I'm gonna trade 5 factories to France. Bam, like this, okay? As you can see already, let's go forward. Our consumer goods went up by 1 on the UK, and our consumer goods on France also went up by 1. This, you know, makes sense. This is because we have more factories overall, so our factories would go up. Yeah, so trading does increase consumer goods, meaning that in multiplayer, you do not want to, like, you just don't want to trade as much with your faction as possible, especially if you have, like, high consumer goods laws. Trade backing on civilian eco is pretty bad, because a lot of those factories will just get lost. Trade backing to the US early game, for example, is terrible, because almost all of these factories will get eaten up by consumer goods, which is good to know. And with that, we debunked this myth as well.